yesterday we did, and the day before, the sine, cosine, and tangent. They're ratios of two sides, right? Well, in order to use those, you have to have a right triangle. They have a hypotenuse, and the only kind of triangle that has hypotenuse is a right triangle. So what happens if I ask you to solve a triangle like this, where there is no right angle? This particular problem, they ask you to find C, find side C. But it's not a right triangle, so you can't use sine, cosine, and tangent. And you also can't use Pythagorean, a squared plus b squared. Pythagorean only applies for right triangles. So what we're going to have to use is the law of cosines over there. Do you see it? And law of cosines, if you look at it, there's little letter A, little b, little c, and then a capital letter. That means the law of cosines applies when you're working with three sides and one angle, which that's what we're doing up here, three sides and one angle. So you should just be able to plug that stuff in. What side are we looking for? C. So we're going to use the c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times cosine of angle C. All you have to do is plug the stuff in then. So what is side A? What is side B? 2. A is 10, whoops. B is 13 times the cosine of what's angle C? 70. And then it's just algebra, a matter of doing the algebra and working it out. C squared equals 100 plus 169. Let's see, 130, 260, I think. I don't know what the cosine of 70 is. Someone might have to help. We got to write the whole thing, though. So I have c squared equals, can I add that up right now? Minus 260 times cosine of 70 is, do you get 0.3420? 20143? What will I do next?
Multiply.
Right, I'm going to multiply those two. So it's
Actually, wouldn't it just be easier subtracting first?
No, because if you subtract first, you're going to get the wrong answer. Remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Shh. Please excuse my dear. Multiplying comes before Aunt Sally, before the subtracting.
Yeah.
So now c squared equals, I got to subtract that.
That's big.
I'm going to ask you to go to the hall, and you're ruining my tape. 180-ish. Right? And then what do you have to do last step? Square root it? Square root? Somebody work with me here.
You got it. Thank you.
13.4. Is that what you got? So side C, 13.4. Does that make sense? So really it's just a matter of plugging it in and then doing your algebra correctly. But you had algebra a long time ago, so that part should be easy, shouldn't it?
They're going to give you all the parts.
Right, they're going to give you all the parts. But sometimes, well, questions on this one first. The next one, they ask you to find an angle instead of a side. The next one looks like...
Is that not opening?
Find the largest angle. Well, in this picture, isn't it easy to tell which one's the largest angle?
I can't.
You can obviously see that angle C is the largest angle. What if it wasn't so evident? How would you know which one is the largest angle? Brock?
The largest angle comes across the largest.
Right. The largest angle would be across from the largest side. What if it said find the smallest angle? Which one would it be? Say A, right? Because A is the smallest side. Smallest angle across from smallest side. Largest angle across from largest. So we're looking for angle C. Which one up there are we going to use if we're looking for angle C? The first one, right? The first one has the capital letter C. So we're going to use the first one. Again, isn't that the same one we used before? It doesn't really matter. They're all the same equation, just different letters. Whoops. AB cosine of angle C. So we'll plug in. What's side C? 150. A is 50. B is minus 2. A is 50. B is 120. Cosine of C. Did I get those all in the right spots?
Oh, yeah.
Now I need to square. 150 squared.
22,500.
Double check me. Yeah, that's what I got. 22500. This one I know. That one I don't. 14400 minus 120. Right? Now what will I do? I think I'm going to combine the like terms right there. 22500 equals 00961. Is that what you get if you combine those? Minus 12,000 cosine of C. Now what would I do? Remember, I'm solving for this term, so I have to get rid of what's with it. How would I get rid of what's with it? So minus 16,000. Would you stop talking, please? Cosine of C equals 0, 0. I need to borrow 6, 5. And then I'm going to divide by, because remember, we want to get cosine of C by itself. So I have to divide by 12,000. Negative. So on this side, that goes away, and I just have cosine of C equals, on this side, 5,600 divided by negative 12,000. Do you get negative 0.4666 repeating forever and ever? Is that what you get? So this is one of those where you're going to have to do inverse cosine, second cosine, whatever it is on your calculator. Don't forget the negative. So inverse cosine of negative 0.4666. And I get angle C equals 117.8 degrees. It should probably be bigger than 90 if the picture is accurate, right? If it's a 90, it would be like up like that.
So what do we get?
If you, 117.8 degrees.
I can't see.
Right.
It's literally
So-
all CC.
Shh. If you forget to put the negative in, you end up getting like a 60 something, I think. But 117.8. Does that make sense? The algebra is a little bit more involved on this side because you got to get the cosine c by itself, but it's not hard, right? Should be fairly easy. Questions? Are there any questions? Does anyone have a question?
Is there a sign?
We're good? We're good.